Hey, can anyone hear me? Testing one, two, three. Can anyone hear me? Okay, so welcome to today's exciting live streaming event of the PEP Calculator. I'm very thrilled to have you join, and we're going to dive into a very helpful tool, which is a PEP Calculator. It will make a big difference in the academic journey of the participants in PEP. So in today's session, I will show you how to use a PEP calculator. I actually made it for my personal use, but I realized that, you know what, why not share it with other parents? Because my son would have gone through PEP, right? So I said, okay, let's make a calculator so we can calculate the performance of the participants and see how we can actually tweak, how we pursue getting them their first choice. So whether you're looking to understand your results better or preparing for upcoming tests, this tool, the PEP Calculator, it's designed to help you analyze your strengths, identify areas for improvement, and ultimately boost your future test success. So I'm going to guide you through a step by step of how to use or to make the most of this powerful tool. Okay? So let me now show you how to use it. I just have an agenda here today that we're going to use, which is an overview of the PEP calculator. Then I'm going to give you a detailed run through of the PEP calculator. And then if you have questions, I will take those and then we'll wrap up. Okay? So let's jump right in. So here we have the PEP calculator, guys, and it looks intimidating, but it really is not all of that intimidating. Okay? So the first thing you need to look at are the columns. And maybe I need to put my cursor on. Just a minute, mouse. All right, so you're going to look at the PEP calculator from the columns, then you're going to look at the rows. So the first thing you need to look at would be the grades. So PEP, as you know, starts at grade 4. Okay? So grade 4, grade 5, and grade 6 ends in grade 6. Then we're going to look at the subjects, and it's associated to the different grades. So in grade 4, you have math and language arts, right? Then in grade 5, you have math, language arts, science, and social studies. Then in grade 6, you have reasoning skills, which we call the ability test. You have math, language arts, then math again. I will explain why math is repeated. Language art is also repeated, and science and social studies. These are the subjects associated to the different grades. Now for the modality. In grade 4, the math and language arts, the modality for those would be performance task. I'm sorry. And for grade 5, all performance task again. Maths, language, science, social studies. But in grade 6, you have an ability test, two performance tasks that's associated to math and language arts. And then you have four CBTs, or we call these curriculum-based tests. And you have them associated to math, language arts, science, and social studies. So that's why math and language arts is here twice, because they're going to get math performance task and CBT, language arts, performance tasks, and CBT. So that is how you look at it from the grade to the modality. Now let's look at the score. The score for grade 4, the maximum score that the participants can get would be 40, meaning that there is nothing else you can achieve more than 40. Once, if you get 100% for math and language arts in grade 4, the maximum points you would have achieved would be 40. Okay? In grade 5, the maximum points you can achieve is 80. Then in grade 6, the maximum points you can achieve is 280. Now, maybe you're wondering, where did I get these scores or these total scores? They're right here, and I'm going to show you. It's here on this thing that would be sent from the ministry. It's called the Schools Bulletin, right? This one is from 2023, 2024. They'll send another one in 2025, but it hasn't changed. So as you can see, the maximum is 40, 80, 280. So the total score that you can accumulate for the entire PEP, your entire PEP life, is 400. And it's mapped over the grades as I've explained. On the calculator, it will show you the same. If you highlight the cells, it will show you that it's 40. Highlight the cells, 80, and highlight the cells, 280. And this is already formulated to give you the 400. Okay? Now, here where you have the contribution, this is where you would type in the information that you would get from a document that's called the Student Performance Report, that I think 3 pager or 4 pager that you would get from the ministry showing how your child perform in PEP, right? If you're not sure what I'm talking about, let me give you a demonstration. It's a dummy demonstration. It's not real, fictitious information, guys. So it's something that looks like this. And you would get the score from here where it says placement contribution, 34.1. You would put the score here for the associated grade and also the associated subject and modality. Okay, good. And once you have put the scores in, it will actually populate or calculate the information for you. So you don't need to put anything in these cells. It will be automatically populated or show the actual contribution, the total contribution from what you put here. Okay? All right, good. Um, Now, over here is the percentage of how you would perform against the total scores or targets set by the ministry. So it shows you individually and accumulatively, right? Now, over here where you have the PEP weightage, this is just telling you that in grade 4, out of the 400 scores that you can get, grade 4, it doesn't matter how you do well, it's just 10% of everything. Grade 5 is just 20% of everything. And grade 6 is 70% of everything. So what this is telling you guys, if you have not done so well in grade 4 and grade 5, grade 6 is where it's at. You can still get your first choice. So don't give up. You can do it because the maximum or the majority of the scores or the weightage is actually in grade 6. So you have a very good chance. So for persons who be thinking that, okay, I didn't do so well in grade 4 or 5, you can still do it. You can still do it. Okay? Over here, the last column, which is column J, it just shows you how, when you put the information in, the contribution, of how you impact the maximum score for that section, right? And same here, same here. So that is actually an overview of the top section of the PEP calculator. Down here is just showing you the tested areas and skills used. So based on individual or categorically, based on language arts, math, science, and social studies, how you're faring out in those areas or those subjects. So that's based on you performing to those subjects individually. Okay? It's just information right here for you. Now I'm gonna jump in where I'm gonna show you how to use it. Okay? So as I said before, these are the total scores, and these are where you're gonna put, or this section is where you're gonna put the information in. So let's say this person didn't have 14.5, but they have 10 here. You just put a 10. That's you'd get that information from this. If I can find it again. From this thing here. No, that's not it. From here, you'd get the information from here and you would type it in the tool. So let's say this person from math in grade 4 only got 10 points, right? Then accumulate and 18.5, or let's say they did 7. That means they would only get 4% of the total, which is 10% in grade 4. And as you can see, that's not good, right? So you put the information in here, right? I'll just remove these and it will accumulate over here and it will show you where you are as it relates to getting your first choice. Okay? So I'm not sure if you guys have any questions. I have been talking and talking. Do you have any questions so far? Okay, I see when you get there, please explain how ability is out of 100. Okay, so that's a very good question. So ability is out of 100 because it is the main thing for grade 6. So it's actually testing your reasoning skills. PEP is designed to get the participants to be more critical thinkers. So that is the main thing for PEP. That's the reason it's 100 um, marks, or it's worth 100 marks because it really shows you the persons who are really thinking critically. So it's the main thing in PEP, to be honest. Not saying that if you don't pass the ability test or the reasoning skill, you won't get your first choice, but it's a good idea to try your best to ace the ability test. Okay? And that's a very good question. Let me see if there are any more questions here. This is where you start putting in your question, guys, and I'll be more than happy if you have questions so I can answer them. No questions? Right, and your teacher is correct. It's the main thing. And it shows also because it's your scores from the ability test is bumped to others that would have done the ability test, and it shows how much of a highly critical thinker you are. If you're in the 90% percentile or 93, 95, so you want to show your abilities there. It's really important. So yes, Zaina, You are correct. It's very important that you ace the ability test. Any other questions, guys? Come on, this is where you ask all the questions. Anything you want me to do here, I can do it to show you how the calculator is used. Waiting for your questions, guys. Okay, you're welcome, Zena. Any other questions? Okay, if no other questions, I guess this is where we stop then, because we'd move on. All right, so thank you very much for joining, guys. If you do have any questions, you can always reach out to me personally, right, through my channel, which is Brain Mission. You can send your questions there. I'll be more than happy to answer them. Okay? So thank you, guys. Appreciate it, and have a good evening.